Ladies and gentlemen, India and EU have signed what is being called the mother of all deals. This is very good. I'm very happy, but we need to look at this in terms of how good a deal this is. A good deal or not a good deal? Mother of all deals, great deal, big deal, fantastic. But I'm not among those people who believe, for example, that covering an economic event or summit means going on a supported paragliding over Davos and making a fool of yourself, or that reporting on a serious event means going and having hot chocolate as if no Indian had ever seen hot chocolate before. Some of the stuff that some channels did in Davos were beyond embarrassing. I won't talk about those. Let's do serious analysis of the India-EU mother of all deals. The EU needs to diversify its supply chains. India needed to offset Trump, his tantrums. So without a doubt, mutually, this is a huge FTA. It's happening at a critical time for both Europe as well as India. So there are reasons why it is the mother of all deals, because it secures 25% of global GDP. This means 1/3 of global trade potentially. It's the mother of all deals because it brings together the second and fourth largest economy in terms of the size of the economies, because it unlocks preferential access worth potentially 75 billion in Indian exports, which means that we can become the export engine of the world, or at least move in that direction. And also because it crushes tariffs on 9,425 lines of Indian export, which is great market access for Indian goods. And we have done it with over 99% of Indian export entering the EU duty-free. So we have a great potential to become a big export economy. And finally, it integrates India with 27 EU countries in a homogeneous way. So we offset Trump. We, more than anything else, Narendra Modi sends a message to Donald Trump. So all of this is very important. It's excellent. But there are also questions we need to ask, not with skepticism, but with curiosity. One, what happens to India's FMCG sector, which has enough stiff domestic competition? Should we care about the FMCG sector? Oil, biscuits, breads will enter. Now, does it add up that we add 40% GST on sin products with 40% slabs, and then we incentivize wine and chocolate from Europe with zero tariff? Wine is alcohol. It's not a health drink. Third, the luxury cars of Europe get solid play in India. How does that slashing impact on India's auto sector, which is also wanting to compete at global scale? So we'll have to see the auto sector. Now, EU has protected its agricultural interests. Have we done the same thing for Indian farmers is a question I have, because French farmers were very angry after the EU deal with Mercosur. You know, Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, and that deal is still hanging. So we need to have a deeper understanding on agriculture. And lastly, have we diluted our own protectionist stance by agreeing to the first time to conditions we did not even agree in the WTO regime? Fact is, like for example, the digital trade chapter integrates the majority of the rules agreed under WTO Electronic Commerce Joint Initiative, of which India is not a member. So have we agreed on conditions that we did not even agree under the WTO regime? Ladies and gentlemen, we need to see the fine print. We need to analyze the fine print. And of course, we can't do anything about it, but we need to be aware of it. Ladies and gentlemen, good deal or not?